One-to-one teaching from a great teacher is a fantastic way to learn. And if every student had one-to-one teaching throughout their whole school life, all the time, by a great teacher, they would all be getting A stars. The problem is you can't scale that. So we've got to find ways of scaling. One of the things we naturally came upon was using some kind of electronic data collection.
We have very little data for education. It's astonishing really to think that it's one of the most common human activities and we have almost no data stored about how it works. This is the first time that anyone has ever taken a scientific approach and really applied it to education.
Lots of people talk about data science and technology and whether that's got a place in education. And what's really exciting is at Sparx, I've seen those two things combine to deliver a really genuinely bespoke experience for each student. And that has provided them with a better education.
We're building systems that are able to help us explore what works and what works when for an individual student.
With Sparx Homework, every student gets a bespoke set of questions which are tailored specifically to their needs.
To create bespoke homework, a lot's going on. We're able to take this amazing content we've got in terms of how finely granulated it is into levels. We know exactly what level each of those questions or skills is.
We started our content design by looking at the big picture, the whole scheme of work. So everything that we felt a student would need to learn and cover in their progression through school. And from that bigger picture, we began to break it down into modules and lessons and topics, so we really knew exactly what a given student at a certain level would need to see. We then focused very carefully on the question design. Something I think we do very differently to a number of other resources and textbooks is try and ensure we are seeing genuine learning. We'll approach content from lots of different angles and different directions to make sure students really get a robust understanding of the topic and that they're not just pattern match or learning a skill, but really understand how that fits into the whole picture.
We also have all this information on the student themselves. So we've got all the data coming in from all the homework that they're doing, and we're able to say this is the level of that student. And so we're able to combine those two things to say, given I know how difficult this skill is and given I know how able this student is, I can merge those two and create a probability or a likelihood of that student being able to answer that skill. So that means that we're able to create homework where all the skills that go into that student's homework are relevant to that student, they're achievable by that student. And if there are skills that are too hard for that student, that's fine. We just won't ask them yet. They can sit in the background and wait until that student maybe increases their level of confidence or ability on those topics, and then they'll come into their homework later on when they're ready.
Seen much more able students who for the first time are getting homework that really challenges them. They've got content that's really specifically tuned to their needs. It really challenges them and engages them and will let them access that higher level material that might not otherwise be available to them. We also see the engagement with the lower end of students as well, because for the first time they're getting content that's pitched directly at them and they can do it and they're getting right answers and they're really building their confidence within the maths and making progress. So each student will see exactly what they need to.
The reason we put so much focus on this is because we know just how important independent learning is. We've seen what a difference it makes to results. What's really exciting is actually seeing it happen and seeing the students being able to complete their homework every week. We see a 98% completion and hand-in rate because of the fact that they enjoy doing it, they can do it, it's achievable.